Hello there! One relatively big part about the video game industry are bootleg video games. Bootleg video games are much deeper in history than you might think, and there are a lot of famous ones that we'll be covering in this video. Some examples include Sonic Jam 6, Kart Fighter, and Samari. First we're going to cover Samari. Now what is Samari? Samari was a bootleg of Sonic the Hedgehog for the Famicom/NES. It was released by Humber Team in 1994. And it was basically a ripoff of Sonic the Hedgehog, but you made the main character Super Mario. But as if Super Mario had tails shoes, looked extremely cursed, and his name was a combination of Sonic and Mario. The game actually became pretty popular after its release. Several Asian magazines covered the game, and a lot of them were mixed reviews. Some of them said it was one of the weirdest and craziest games ever, and one of them said it was actually one of the best bootleg carts to ever exist. Now the crazy thing is that on March 1st, 1994, a Taiwanese trademark was registered for this game, but I'm confused how this can even be allowed because it's already infringing the trademark of Mario and Sonic. To end off Samari, some fan decided to make a port of the game to Sega Genesis after the game's release, but it's still one of the most talked about bootlegs of all time. Now let's move on to Kart Fighter. Kart Fighter was a Street Fighter II-esque game released by Humber Team again in 1993. It was an actually pretty decent NES game with good gameplay and an actual kind of story, but it was not received the best. It was mostly mixed reviews. Some people really loved the game, but some people really hated it. It went on to be one of the most popular bootlegs of all time, and it received a lot of love over the years. And then afterward, it got even more bootleg carts from other companies that wanted to cash in on the love for it. Kart Fighter has 8 playable characters: Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, Bowser, Donkey Kong, Koopa, Toad, and Yoshi. But when I said Mario and Koopa were playable, I didn't exactly mean that. They're renamed in this version. Mario is just Mari, and Koopa is named Noko Noko. This is just as love as Samari, and now let's move on to Sonic Jam 6. Sonic Jam 6 is like the polar opposite of Samari. Sonic Jam 6 is basically Super Mario Bros. On the NES, but instead it's Sonic and on the Sega Genesis. Sonic Jam 6 was published by GameTek in 1997 for the Sega Genesis. The game is mostly the same to the original Super Mario Bros. And the All-Stars version, but with a few key differences. First of all, obviously it's Sonic, but the thing is with Sonic is that it starts out as a red Sonic, then to a blue Sonic, and then a blue Sonic that can shoot fireballs. The next thing is that obviously the sound and music is way different because it's running on a Sega Genesis. One odd thing, however, is that someone made another version of this, but it contains Mario instead of Sonic. So basically, it's just now Mario Bros, but on the Sega Genesis. But one thing that they forgot to leave out is that at the end, Peach still says "Thank you, Sonic" instead of "Thank you, Mario." And that's my small coverage on some famous bootlegs. I know there are way more popular ones out there, but if I were to talk about them, it would probably take 10 hours for this video. Hope you enjoyed this small video, and if you want to, you can like and subscribe, but it's completely optional. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.